Very well, no more games or half measures. Because these two continue to defy and profane us, we will show them the ultimate power of the Phantom Ruby. It's time to show them perfection made whole. You pathetic, lowly mortals, show your reverence and bow down before our splendor. Good God! They wouldn't dare! So, this is your move. My form is justice, and my form is the world. Worship me. Give praise unto me, me the beautiful, me the sublime, the invincible, the almighty, and divine. All hail Infinite. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that comic dub, because it actually took me quite a while to do that. Downloading the soundtrack in a format that could be uploaded to Movie Maker, making sure I got the intonations all right, and of course staging all the pictures. That was quite the chore to do. I had to be quite creative in how I positioned everything. But yes, this is Fusion Infinite. Now, I've made Fusion characters before. I mean, everybody should know that I've made Shattuck a couple of times. But Shattuck was the brainchild of a Newgrounds animator called Chakra X. This is my original Fusion concept, which kind of plays into Chauvel's original parody of Dragon Ball Super taken to its logical conclusion. Since Goku Black and Zamasu fused, so too must Supersonic Rose and Infinite. So of course I took that Supersonic Rose figure and dismantled it. It would of course be the base for this custom, meaning that there's no longer a Supersonic Rose. If anybody was a huge fan of it, I'm sorry about that. Alright, so there would be no mask on this figure, so instead of having to make flexible ears that I would be able to put the mask on and off of, I just used some of Tails's. I don't remember if these are from a classic Tails or a regular Tails. Probably a regular Tails, but it hardly matters. They actually did fit the shape of Supersonic's head fairly well, but I had to mask the seams with a little bit more epoxy. It's kind of noobish and obvious looking when it's still, in its original colors, but painted properly, everything blends in pretty darn decently. As for the color, I decided to take the fuchsia color that Supersonic Rose was originally and add a bit of Infinite's black coloring to it, which ended up with this sort of purple shade, which I feel is a good color that a Fusion Infinite would be, kind of a compromise color between the Supersonic and the Infinite color. I also painted some white highlights through his hair. I mean, of course, there's the scar on his eyes and the heterochromia, in addition to the cheek tufts. Of course, the shape of Sonic's eyes and the nose is still there, kind of combining their features, But yeah, like I said about the stripes, Infinite has hair rather than spines, so I figured the best way for them to fuse would be to have Infinite's hair pattern appear on Sonic's spines, so, sort of like a highlight. The chest was simply adding a Phantom Ruby. I know in Chauvel's original comic, Infinite didn't have the Phantom Ruby, but my Infinite figure had a Phantom Ruby, so since the figures are fusing, that Phantom Ruby has to go somewhere. And the tail is a foam board core, which I used to keep everything in place as I sculpted the tail around it. I mean, we gotta have the big long jackal tail. That's a pretty distinctive feature of Infinite, and it simply wouldn't do not to have it. Now, Sonic doesn't wear a lot of clothes. I mean, no male Sonic character does. But in the Dragon Ball Super episode, when Zamasu and Goku fuse, the resulting outfit looked a lot more like Zamasu's, so I decided that the outfit would mostly look like Infinite's, meaning that he has those big old straps in the backs of his gloves. Although I did leave the arms unpainted, like leaving them Sonic's regular skin tone color arms as one more nod to the fusion. As for the shoes, I decided to compromise the design a little bit. It still has that point at the front that Infinite's has, but and the tongue, of course, and they turned black, but I decided to leave the stripe with the buckle on, just to show that they used to be Sonic's. So it's a nice compromise of the design of two of their shoes, because, technically in Potara Fusion, the clothes that the Fusion wears is actually supposed to be more of a blending, even if one does tend to be a little bit more dominant than the other. So that is the completed Infinite design. Let's take a look at it. Well, actually, I guess this isn't the reveal since, you saw the comic dub before this, but yeah, this is him just like shown without any fanfare, no special framing, just showing off what the figure itself actually looks like from all angles, so you can appreciate the whole kind of thing that I do. Yeah, I guess this is a first for me. I mean, I've never really done my own character fusions before. I mean, I'm not really a fan fiction-y kind of guy. But, I don't know, I just really like Dragon Ball Super. And, when Shovels made that parody comic, I'm like, oh, hey, I have an Infinite figure. I could totally do that. And then when I did it, I'm like, now that I did it, I can continue and do the next thing that happened. Yeah, let's do that. So, that was the thought process that led to this crazy quest of mine. So, that's the thing. Alright, about 7 minutes. I guess it's a relatively long video for a custom, so I think we'll leave it off there. I hope you guys liked it, and let me know if you want some more comic dubs. We'll see you next time.